Okay, in this math 2, we're going to do the top 5. Not fully, but partially, I guess, for most of them. For number 75, we have examined the diagrams below. For each pair of angles marked on the diagram, quickly decide what angle pair relationships the angle have. So some of the ones that you should have had in this class or in the previous class are the following. So I'm just going to list them in order. You should have had complementary angles. So angles, supplementary angles. You should have had, so we did vertical angles. We did corresponding. And I think those were the only 4 that we've had so far, or as a reminder. Complementary, supplementary, vertical, corresponding, and then, yeah, so these 3 right here belong to, at some point, one of those 4. I'm going to let you figure it out. Okay, so you have to decide out of those A, B, C, which one of these 4, and yes, I know there's 3 and 4. You have one of them obviously doesn't fit into the 3 that are A, B, C. The last one, I don't think you've ever had, but you should at least intuitively understand that it's an isosceles. This one right here is an isosceles, a triangle. And one of the things that we did on the diagram, I think, for describing polygons and things like that, on the diagram, on your isosceles triangle, these 2 angles, H and K, are actually congruent. They're called base angles. And they're congruent. Okay? So H and K are congruent. It doesn't follow any one of these at the top. They're not supplementary, they're not complementary or anything like that. Okay, 76. Read the following statements and decide if, when combined, they present a convincing argument. Okay, so you may need to refer back to your polygon graphic organizer as you consider the statements. The graphic organizer I gave you, I think it was the second day that we were in class, we did polygons. So if a square has 4 sides of equal length, a square is a rectangle because it has 4 right angles, which is true. Square has 4 sides of equal length. That's also true. A rhombus also has 4 sides of equal length. That's also true. Okay, so does that mean that a rhombus is a rectangle? Not really. A rhombus is not a rectangle. It doesn't come from that category. So consider whether or not, so your hint for this problem is going to be consider whether or not a rhombus has 4 right angles when evaluating the accuracy of the conclusion. So does a rhombus, look at your polygon organizer, have 4 right angles? That's what we want to know. Okay, so if it does, then it's a rectangle. If it doesn't, then it's not a rectangle. All right, on number 78. The rectangle shown at the right, write an equation to show what the area is as a product and then as a sum. So we did a little bit more of this in class. That's the x squared tile, right? So in this whole area here, right, this would be a length of x, this would be a length of x, this would be a length of x, x, x. This is a length of 1, 1, 1, 1. That's the length of x, that's 1, 1, 1. So as a sum, actually I shouldn't say as a sum, as a product, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 2x on the side, and then 1, 2, 3. That's your product. And then your sum, product of the sum is equivalent, right? The product is equivalent to the sum. The sum would be what's inside. So how many tiles do you have and what are they? So you need to write that in here. So how many tiles do you have and what are the tiles? That goes in the sum area. And I'll let you finish that out yourself. 89. Okay, we have on graph paper, draw quadrilateral of vertices, those 4. And you should end up with vertices that look like this. somewhere over here. So if you didn't get that, then you may have plotted one of your points before. What kind of quadrilateral is it? And more importantly, can you justify what kind of quadrilateral you think it is? So if you tell me it's a rectangle, then prove it to me. Okay, tell me about the sides, because right now it's pretty obvious that all of the angles in the four corners, I'm going to call it A, B, C, D, because then it's easier to talk about it. All of the four angles, angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D, are right angles. We obviously can tell. The only question is it a square or is it a rectangle? And if it is, prove it to me. Tell me, what is the distance between A and B? What is the distance between B and C? What is the distance between C and D? And what is the distance between D and A? Okay, you have to be able to rationalize your reasoning for the fact that you choose either a rectangle or a square. All right, and then translate the quadrilateral 3 units to the left and 2 units up. And it should end up somewhere over here. So redraw that up. Once you translate it 3 units to the left and 2 units up, what are the new coordinates of the vertices? So what is the new coordinate for A? Let's call it A prime. What is the new coordinate for B prime? And then what's the new coordinate for C prime and D prime? Because you're going to translate them. So we're going to be in primes. Okay. Last one. Solve the following problem using any method. Write your solution as a sentence, which is... I suppose, okay. This is the only one that I'm actually going to do completely. So I'm going to need 2 or 3 different colors here. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than twice the length of the width. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. Here's my rectangle. Okay, it's not drawn to scale, but it does the job. Okay. The length I'm going to put along here. And my width is going to be up down here. Okay, length and width. The length of the rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than twice the length of the width. Okay, well, I don't know what the width is. Okay, so let's just say it's X. I'm going to call it X. But I do know that the length is twice the length of the width and an additional 5 centimeters. So twice the length of the width and an additional 5 centimeters. So it would be, let's see, twice the length of the width. Oopsie. I guess you could do X. Twice the length of the width, so 2 times X, because the width was X, plus an additional 5 centimeters. Okay, now the only question is, if the perimeter of the rectangle is 88 centimeters, what is the width? So please remember, base times, or length times width is how you find area, not perimeter. Perimeter was the thing all the way around. So that means the length up here, since it is a rectangle, that means both of these are going to be the same. So this is going to be 2x plus 5 up here, and then this is going to be x on the side over here. So your entire perimeter is 88 centimeters if you go around all 4 times. So it's going to be 88 centimeters. So the only question is, what are you going to add up? Well, all 4 sides, hopefully. So x plus x gives you 2x. That's from the 2 of the widths, right? Plus, you have 2x plus 5 and an additional 2x plus 5. So that gives you 4x plus 10. Okay, so please solve that. Get an answer for x. Okay, you should get x equals whatever it is. And that's going to pretty much be your width also. X equals something. And then in a sentence, because that's what I want you to do, write your solution as a sentence. You would say, the width of the rectangle is blah, blah, blah centimeters. Because remember, we still have units in this problem. Okay, so you need a finalized sentence to answer your actual solution. Okay, so those were the 5 problems that we did. I can't remember how many I just did. But hopefully that helps. If it doesn't and you already knew them, then that's great. And I will see you later.